This is me, Ruowen Huang. Feel like this week go by so fast. Now kids go back to school. So anyway, today's Friday already, and it's going to be my coffee break. Hopefully, I'm not picking really difficult topic today. But anyway, today I wanna just talk about when right and wrong no longer mean anything. It actually started with a conversation I have with a friend, and also what's been going on. I guess in Asia, right? We have this, this debate about should we have this, the chair seat in the public transit that's only allow, old people to sit or baby, but then there are people also got hidden illness and blah blah blah. Anyway, so to start this, how do I begin this topic? To start this, I will not share a conversation with you guys. The conversation is what I have with my friends, right? Sure enough, a couple of days ago, I having lunch with my friends, and my friends brought up this conversation and saying, "Oh, do you know Hitler killed 6.5 million people, right?" And then I said, "Well, no, I did not, but that's a big number, right?" So sure enough, we start talking about why, like how, like wonder what he is right now. Is he being punished? Is he reincarnated to be killed by people and things? So sure enough, we make joke about that, right? So Hitler is pretty much the topics. It got brought up all the time. Every time I want to talk about when right and wrong mean nothing, start to mean nothing. The reason I talk about that with you guys is that was really hard concept for me when my higher spirits first threw upon me to let me start thinking, basically start thinking in different perspective. When the right and wrong no longer mean anything. As a human, we're very fixated what is right, what is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. It's good. It's all good and all that. But throughout my psychic journey, I also start to discover, sometimes a client will come to me and say, "Oh, their husband beat it up, and then for some reason they couldn't leave." Normal people will say, "Why don't you just leave," right? But then they have this bond, or they have this emotional or somewhat tie them together that they just cannot leave, right? So by access their databases, their past life and things like that, and sometimes found out in the previous life they actually treat their other half exactly the same way. So therefore they're simply collecting their karma debt, right? So because I have many cases like that, so for me to start, it takes years before I start to really sit down and think about the concept that my higher spirit threw upon me, when there's no right and there's no wrong. You know what I mean? Because at the beginning I have debate, right? I'm very judgmental. I have debate about it doesn't make sense. What, there's right, that's why there's God, and then there's devil, right? So how can you say that? So what he tried to say, what my higher spirit tried to introduce to me is, every soul before they were born into a physical form, whatever you're animal or you are human or things like that, they all know their blueprints. I mean, they all know what they will become, or they will possibly become, or what their task is going to be, what circumstances they are going to encounter in order for them to evolve, right? So that is, if a person who was born here, they become a bad guy. Through the journey, they probably have given choice. They can become a good guy or they can become a bad guy. For some reason, they choose to become a bad guy. Very often, they have this, internal or in higher purpose as a soul that they have to overcome or reach, right? So that, in that perspective, very often we human cannot be the judge. Yes, I get it. We human tend to want to be the judge, but the truth is we can't, right? We can see what they did is right or wrong, and we criticize upon it. But what caused that to happen, very often we don't know, because we only see what's happened to us, right? We don't study them. We don't go dig deep down to them. So as a previous episode, I mentioned that too. When two people might have the same action, right? same action. That is, one person is simply like to enjoy killing, just want to kill. So go and kill someone and rob them, right? So that intention is, I simply want to hurt someone. The other person is because a life got life-threatening to them, so he end up had to kill someone. With those two people, the action is the same, but intentions are very different, which I will bring you back to the previous. What I say is, karma is simply based on your intention. They don't judge your action, but we human will judge their action, right? We don't care who you are, what you're from, and things like that. So in this case, since we don't know what their intention is, what is best to leave to is for karma to decide what is going to happen to them, right? Sure, we have what we believe. We can only focus on what we know, what we believe, and then we will speak upon it, right? But is it our job to play judge on them? No, because they are already judging themselves. They may or may not know it. You know what I mean? Because very often people who got beat up by their own self-guilt or self, or even if they don't feel anything, the truth is the moment they die, they will be confronted by everything they do, right? So really, it's not for us to judge. So bring you back to the topic I have with my friends, right? I say we all know, or we all believe Hitler is a really bad guy. He's a very cruel guy. But what he also create is he create a long-lasting humanity. You know what I mean? Nowadays, when we talk about humanity, because the event was so grand and so big, we all feel it. It's not just a little area people feel it. It's all over the world. We all know it. We all feel it. Because the truth is there are so many slaughter everywhere, in the wartime, right? There's in England, there was in China especially, there's, Japan, there's all over the place. But how often people use that to refer, right? No, when it comes to humanity, we feel it. We understand how those people should not be treated this way. So even till this day, even after so many years, you still use that as a reference point. Okay, if I can give you that as a way to think about it, now you think. As my higher spirit say, before we become a human being, we already know what kind of plan that we plan for ourselves and what we will become and who we will be, right? Now, imagine we are all soul. We don't have a body, right? And we are planning this crazy life that we're going to become part of them anyway. So there is this higher spirit that proposing, say, I need some event that's going to happen. And then that's going to create humanity awareness for so many years to come. This event will require, now you got to imagine all of this reincarnation is basically like a screenplay, right? It's like you're watching Game of Thrones anyway. Somebody have to die so the audience will feel the pain, right? So what happened is the higher spirit start proposing, I need someone to kill 6.5 million people. And then the impact is going to be so big that it would create humanity awareness for, century. Who's going to do that? Now they ask who's going to do that, right? Selfish, no. As a soul, I know I can't do that, right? And then I probably know you guys cannot do that too either, right? So you start to think, what kind of soul would volunteer say, I do that? Even the higher spirits would say, well, just mind you, you will get hated. You personally will get hated for a century. Are you sure you want to do that? And he say, sure, nobody do it. Job need to be done. I do that. You know what I mean? So if you start looking things at this point, I'm not saying this is correct, but I'm just giving you a different perspective to look at things. If this is correct, all of a sudden you have a different perspective of who he is as a soul. I'm not justifying what he did is right, But what I'm saying is, as a soul level, what kind of courage does it need for someone to stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to do that dirty job that nobody want to do because it need to be done, right? What kind of soul would do that? So what I'm saying is, we don't know. Human knowledge is so limited by what we were taught. And what I keep saying is, we only use very little percentage of our brain and knowledge as a soul, right? There's so much more that we don't know. There's so much more that waiting for us to learn, right? So in this case, if we only see what we see and then decide to play a judge of it, right? How fair could it be based on our limited knowledge? How fair can it be? So a lot of time, I mean, me myself, I'm a very judgmental person. You know, I criticize things too. But I slowly, I guess thanks is kind of cursed to me too. By seeing so many cases, seeing so many past life that create what's happening in this life, I slowly understand maybe sometime it's not for me to play the judge. I might have my personal opinion, but I am in no position to be the judge of someone else's life, because they are already the harshest judge of themselves. You may or may not see what happened to them, but remember what I say. Eventually you will see how everything tying together. Remember what I say. The moment they die, the moment they have to evolve to the next level, they will be the harshest judge of themselves, or we will be, right? So really, the best way we can do as a human being, as any nature, is take care of this, right? Instead of judging other people not doing the right thing, we look back ourselves and ask ourselves, are we doing the right things? Because if every one of us can reflect ourselves that way, this world is already becoming a better place to live. So anyway, hey, it's supposed to be my coffee break time, but I think it's a little bit harsh. But I just want to get this out of my chest. So just give you guys a different concept to look at things, and then, you know, hopefully it will start to help you make sense of a lot of things. So again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel, or go to my website, ruowenhuang.com. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!